I saw Wuthering Heights last night, let's talk about it. So first and foremost, out the gate, this movie is receiving a lot of criticism, and understandably so. I'm going to start out with the things that I really enjoyed about the movie. Starting with the opening sequence, they used real human hair in stop motion style to show the title of the movie. Absolutely gorgeous. The set design, the costuming, absolutely visually stunning. The entire time, every shot is visual poetry. Every shot. The original soundtrack is done by Charlie XCX. It's fantastic. After the aesthetics, I do feel that the movie falls flat. Now, even if we're going into the movie understanding that it's put in quotations because this is essentially a fan fiction version of what could have happened at Wuthering Heights, we know that this isn't a direct retelling. The first issues obviously come with the casting. Every character is miscast, I would say, save for Isabella Linton. I think that actress did an incredible job, although I hated the way her character was essentially dog-walked. Pun intended. The entire film makes you feel uncomfortable. There are extreme visceral close-ups that are quite grotesque at most of the time. And again, I'm a huge fan of Emerald Fennell's work. You know, she did Promising Young Woman and Saltburn, both films that I enjoyed. I think she's extremely talented when it comes to aesthetics. I think that her vision and the way she executes that vision is gorgeous. Again, the film was miscast. And spoilers, if you haven't read the 200-year-old book, I don't know what to tell you. The movie ends when Catherine dies, okay? So that's really the mid part of the book. We don't see anything else after that. The haunting is completely omitted. The grave scene is completely omitted. The next generation of children and Hindley Earnshaw is completely omitted. Now, I understand that cuts have to be made in order to turn a book into a movie. This is never going to be the case where we can get an exact rendition. If you guys want to see the closest rendition to Wuthering Heights, I would recommend the 2011 version and also the 1992 version, although, again, Heathcliff is portrayed by Ralph Fiennes in that as a white guy. But those two versions are the closest, in my opinion, to the novel. If you go into this movie not having read the novel and not having any expectations, I think you're probably going to have a good time. Again, it's visually stunning. But basically nothing of what happens in the movie actually happens in the book. This is a reimagining. Essentially, the characters are caricatures of the characters that Emily Bronte wrote. I think that the set design and just absolutely how abstract and unnerving everything was truly like a very visceral experience. Like when you're looking around, you're so overwhelmed with what you're seeing that I think you're distracted from the fact that there's not a lot of substance to the actual plot other than romanticizing what is essentially a Gothic novel. Reimagining Kathy and Heathcliff as if they have this wonderful love story when we know that that's not the case. It relies heavily on the overt sexualization of both Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. There's a lot of scenes where you're seeing their tongues and their fingers, and it's very, very, very close-ups of these things. And again, I think that is to evoke an uncomfortable aspect, and it does deliver in that regard. It makes you uncomfortable. However, considering the fact that Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie, even though I think that they were miscast, they're both insanely talented actors, and I feel that we didn't see their range in this, okay? If we look at Jacob Elordi in Euphoria, he's screaming. You see this insane range of emotion, and we simply don't see that in this, when I think that would have been a perfect opportunity to see Heathcliff, because the way Heathcliff is written in the novel, he's horrendous, he's horrific. He becomes the villain, right? He becomes the victim to the villain, and we don't see any of that. I wanted to see spit flying out of his mouth. I wanted to see rage. I wanted to see this insane passion. And we really just don't get that. Margot Robbie is so stunning to look at. I would literally watch that woman paint a wall for 2 hours. But again, I do think that she was miscast for this role. She delivered. She's gorgeous. She did an incredible job. But again, the casting was just not where it should have been. If you're a lit girly, you're gonna hate this. If you haven't read the novel and you don't care and you just want to go have funsies, you might enjoy it, especially if you don't know the ending. I think that might be like a, oh my gosh. But those of us who have read the novel know what to expect at the end, which is essentially the middle. So it's way less shocking. And I know I might be nitpicking here, but the scene where Heathcliff is riding the horse to go get Catherine, as someone who rode horses my entire life, he wasn't even riding the horse at full gallop. That drove me nuts. Like, if you were really running because the love of your life is dying and you have to run over 5 miles of moors on a horse, you would be breakneck. You would be beating that horse faster, go, yeah. And you would be going so much faster. You would be like at the end of True Grit, right? And we simply didn't see that. So while the movie may have evoked all the things that the director intended it to, make you feel uncomfortable, make you feel left like in a what the hell. I don't know whether that was her intention or not. I'm assuming if you're a purist of the novel, you're not gonna like it. If you're a girly and you want to go out and see a bunch of scenes, gratuitous scenes in my opinion, and I like smut, you know, that's what you're gonna see. I know that this video is long, but I had a lot of feelings about this movie, so let me know what you thought in the comments.